What is up, you guys? For today's video, we are going to be revisiting one of the palettes that I get so many requests to use, and it actually kind of blows my mind since this one has been out for a real hot minute, and that is the Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette. Seriously, this palette is so cool, and I gotta say, today using this palette, I had a lot of fun. It's been a minute since I've used it, and if you haven't seen the inside of it yet, it's such a cool mood. Like, I literally have nothing like it in my collection. It's very like grungy and smoky, and it has like these really cool greens in it that are really hard to find. And if you'd like to see my original review on this palette or all of the other looks I've done with it, I'll have them linked in the description box down below for you. However, before we jump into it, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and gave this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kit, where I post a bunch more tutorials over on there if you're looking for some inspiration. I have a love-hate relationship with these clips because part of me thinks I'm on my way to first grade, and then the other part of me is like, dang, these are cute, and maybe that's because I'm a 90s baby, but I still think they're really adorable. But the first thing that we're going to be doing is priming our eyelids using my absolute favorite eye primer, which is from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Since you have those babies primed and ready to go, now we can jump into using the palette, and today we are going to be going in with the Morphe Boss Mood palette. Seriously, this palette is so cool. I just love how grungy it is, yet bright and colorful at the same time. And also, like, this color story is so unique for my collection. I have nothing like it. I don't know, there's just such a cool thing about it. I love these like darker smoky greens. I love all the purples. It seriously has such a cool vibe. But the first shade that we are going to be going in with is the brighter green in the palette, I guess I'd call it, and that is called Stroke of Luck. And then using this BH Cosmetics No. 6 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set, I'm going to be popping this color right in the crease in the inner third of my lid, and then doing these little circular motions to blend it upwards towards my brow. But man, like, that color is just so cool and so pigmented. Like, I love the vibe of it. It really reminds me of the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, if you have that one. Like, it just kind of gives like that similar vibe, like the grungy aspect. Since you have that applied, the next shade that we are going to be going in with is called Green with Envy. It's kind of like a deeper green with like a little hint of brown to it. And then using this BH Cosmetics No. 7 brush, I'm going to be popping this color in the crease in the center third of my lid. And I'm just doing these like little circular motions, trying to blend it in with that green that we just applied. Don't worry about the blending process right now because we will be doing it later. You just kind of want to get more so the color placement down. Now this is when things are going to get a little bit weird and they might not turn out, but we're still going to roll with it. But the next shade that we are going to be going in with is this really pretty, really dark purple in the palette called Transformer. Now as you can see, I have a lot of this pigment on my brush because we are going to essentially be stamping it on the eyes. So what I'm going to do is take this brush kind of like as if I was going to like wing my liner with it. And I'm going to start packing the shit out of this color right in the outer V of my eye. And then I'm also kind of overlapping it slightly with that dark green. And I'm going to warn you, it's going to look real rough for a minute. But you just really want to get that color placement down. And I'm also slightly putting it on the lid too in this outer third. And again, when I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I am pressing it in because this color can get a little bit patchy. I'm just going to kind of do a second layer because it just looked a little weird over in here. And also when I'm doing this, I am really like smoking it outwards because I really want a dramatic eye today. You don't have to go as far as I am though. I just like it really, really intense. So once you packed on that shadow and you have all those harsh lines going on, because girl, when you pack on a shadow, it is literally just so chunky looking. But now we're going to start fixing it because we do not like harsh lines on this channel unless it is our cut crease. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit more of that Transformer shade on this BH Cosmetics No. 8 brush out of the Lavender Luxe set. And what I'm doing is these like little tiny little buffing motions. So I'm doing these little circles right on that harsh line, just to help soften these edges a little bit because they're looking real rough. And I'm also bringing this color in a little bit too. And when you're doing this, you just want to be really light and you just want to make sure that you're buffing out the edges, but you don't want to smoke it like full out. You want to just be a little bit mindful of it. But like seriously, I am so shook about this Transformer shade. Like in the pan, it is definitely like this really pretty like deep rich purple. And then when I applied it, it definitely looks like a blue. It's almost like an indigo blue in a way. It reminds me of the deep blue in the Dare to Create palette by Morphe if you have that one in your collection. But man, like I just love this color though. I was expecting it to be purple, but I'm definitely not mad about what it did. But I can see why they call it Transformer because, you know, it looks like it's a purple in the pan and then when you apply it, it looks like a blue. But what's even funny about that though is I've done looks with that purple before and it definitely like looked purple in those looks, but this one, it definitely looks more like a blue. So I don't know what's up with it, but I can see why they named it that. So now we're going to start blending the colors together and just getting everything all nice and seamless. And the first thing that we are going to do is take whatever is left on that brush that we just used, that BH Cosmetics number 8 brush with no additional product, and then lightly fluffing the edges between the blue and that green. The deeper green, I should say. And I'm just doing this little back and forth motion between the two colors, and then I'm slightly overlapping it with the green. Now we're just going to take that brush that we applied that deeper green with, and with no additional product, go right over that line between the blue and that dark green. I'm just doing a back and forth motion. So now once you did that, I'm just going to take a little bit of that brighter green. I did grab additional product because I just wanted a little bit more poppin'. And I'm going to do the exact same thing, so I'm just going to reapply it and then slightly overlap it with that deeper green. And then I'm just going to go in with that brush that we did with the green and the blue and lightly overlap that middle green and that lighter green. Man, this is definitely a vibe. I don't know what it is, but every time I use the Boss Mood palette, like, it just has such a cool effect to the eyes, and it just has like its own kind of look to it. Like, I don't know, I just love these colors, I love the shape, and I just love the whole like drama and like smoky feel that it gives. But nonetheless, off camera, I'm just gonna quickly cut my crease and then I'll be right back. So once you cut that crease and the base is 100% dry, now we can start working on the lid. And today I really want to experience the shimmers in this palette. I haven't really used them all that much, and that is because I had a really bad experience with this lighter one right here. I remember it being like so lackluster and just really hard to work with in general, and after having that experience, I haven't really wanted to use the other ones because of it. So I thought we would try some of them today, and the first one though that we are going to be going in with is this really pretty like gold, but it has like a little hint of green to it, and it's called Pop Star. And then using this damp and flat shader brush, I'm going to be packing this anywhere that that base is showing. And I'm mostly focusing it in the inner 2/3 because I do kind of want to put a different shimmer color right here in that outer portion where the blue is. So the next shimmer that we are going to be going in with, I don't know if it's going to mess up this look or not, but I still really want to try it out, and that is this really pretty deeper purple shade called Daredevil. And why I say it might mess it up is because purple and yellow are on the opposite sides of the color wheel, so they might make an ugly brown. I'm not too sure, but I still really want to try it out. As they say, you don't know until you try, so I'm just going to take this Real Techniques little smudge brush and start packing this on the outer third of my lid, and then slightly overlapping it with Pop Star that we just applied. But seriously, like, these mixed a lot better than what I was expecting them to. Like, actually, that is really, really pretty. I was not expecting to like it at all. Like, in the back of my head, I almost feared that I might have to wash off this whole look just because of this. But at the same time, it's always fun to just experiment and play around, even if things happen. I gotta say, I am so obsessed with how like grungy this is. Like, man, it is so cool. And I just love like the full-on like color melt that we have going on, you know, like with this like purpley green. And I don't know, it's just so cool looking. I literally cannot wait to see the full-on finished look. But nonetheless, off camera, I'm just gonna quickly clean things up a little bit, as well as apply my complexion products, and then I'll be right back. So I apply my complexion products and we're good to go, but first things first, we need to talk about this because I don't know how I feel about face primer now. So this morning I decided I wanted to try out this 4-3 Beauty The Daily Facial Moisturizer, and if you're not familiar with 4-3 Beauty, it is ColourPop's affordable skincare line. They have a really great products. I definitely recommend checking them out. And also, let's talk about this moisturizer for a second before we get into it, because I really like it as like a first impressions basis. Like, it's like a cream moisturizer, but it's whipped and it has the consistency of like a gel moisturizer when you apply it. It has a really cool formula, not to mention it smells like creamsicle. Like, it smells so good. But I use this as a primer today, and normally I never use a moisturizer primer. Honestly, I've never done it before. I have always used like a face primer of some sort, you know, either it's blurring, gripping, you name it, I've tried it. And I gotta say, this has my mind blown because my face does not feel cakey, it doesn't feel heavy, and also I'm not creasing as bad as I normally do. Like, I usually crease real bad in my smile lines right now, as well as underneath my eyes, and using this, I don't have that problem. And I mean, this foundation for me has been the best. It is the Pure Cosmetics, I think it's called 4-in-1 Love Yourself. It's the one that has 100 shades. And even with that one, I do get like a little creasing after a while, but after using this, I don't see any creasing and my face just doesn't feel as heavy. So literally, I'm shook right now. I'll keep you guys updated how I feel about this moisturizer as a primer, but I'm definitely going to be trying it again. Anywho, for lips today, we are going to be going in with one of my all-time favorite liquid lipsticks, and that is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the shade Trouble. So now we're going to start smoking out the lower lash line, and the shade that we are going to be going in with is one that we used earlier, and that is called Transformer. And then using this Morphe M507 brush, I'm going to be smoking this underneath the lower lash line. And I'm doing about the outer half, I would say. We're going to do a 2-color lower lash line today, and the next shade that we are going to be going in with is this Green with Envy shade that we used earlier. And then using this Luxie 231 small tapered blending brush, I'm just going to be applying this to the inner half of the lower lash line. And again, when I'm doing this, I'm doing back and forth motions. So for the inner corner highlight today, you could go in with the lightest shimmer shade in the Boss Mood palette, but honestly, it is so lackluster, and I am not about that light for my inner corner highlight. So instead, we are going to be going in with my Ride or Die #1 Holy Grail highlighter, and that is ColourPop's Horse and Carriage one. Oh my gosh, literally, this is so good. Like, if you love a, like, icy, yet kind of like a champagne highlight, this is literally such a banger. So I'm just gonna take this little pencil brush from Moda Brushes, and I'm packing the shit out of this into my inner corner. Like, I am literally packing it because I want it blinding. And I'm also bringing it underneath the inner tear duct area to open up the eye. But yeah, so here's the finished look using the Morphe 35M Boss Mood palette, and seriously, I am obsessed with this look. Like, when I was planning it out, it was definitely a lot more purple than blue, but nonetheless, I still like the vibe of it, and I love, like, this, like, purpley green that we have going on the lid. Like, I could definitely see myself doing that again, and truly, I just have a lot of fun revisiting palettes with you guys. I know a lot of people get really caught up in new launches, and myself included. I just bought a ton of new launches. I just got the brand new ColourPop Sailor Moon one. I got the Vita palette from Melt Cosmetics. I had to have it. And I also got their brand new one that they launched for Valentine's Day. I got the Redmond Rock collection. I mean, like, there's just so much always going on that we forget about these really awesome palettes that we already have in our collection. Man, I just cannot get over, like, the full-on vibe with this look right now. Like, I seriously think it is so cool. But in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know which other palette I should revisit. You know, not something that is new, but something that has been around for a bit, because I just think it's so much fun to give new life to other palettes, and I know a lot of you guys have a lot of the same palettes as I do, so I always love to create tutorials with them if you would like to see them. But anywho, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below and give this video a like. And also, if you'd like to check me out on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kid. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!